Hey, Cody.
Hey, Paxi.
So, you know something you and I will probably never do in our lives?
Drive an F1 car.
Besides that.
I think there's a long list.
Well, let me shorten it down for you. I'm pretty sure you and I will never get arrested in Brazil trying to board a plane with a gun.
At least I hope not.
I really do too. Fucking Bernie Eccleston, the man that we remember growing up with Formula One, the man whose face was ugly plastered everywhere during the 2005 USGP tragedy, was arrested in Sao Paulo trying to board a plane with a gun to come back to Europe, which apparently he owns a coffee farm in Brazil. I would say Lewis Hamilton is definitely by far the most popular alive Formula One person in Brazil now. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. I'm trying to think of who would have another chance to be as popular. Speaking of people who own farms, did you know Jason Mraz owns avocado farms?
Avocados from Mexico.
Yeah, he owns avocado farms and he supplies them exclusively to Chipotle. So if you ever get shitty guac, blame Jason Mraz.
Chipotle.
And with that, hello
Perfect.
and welcome to the Monaco Race Week episode here with the Most 100% podcast for I'm the Papaya Mask, Cody Cows Miller, and joining me as usual is the Tifosi fanboy himself, Faxi, the Greek qualifier.
Because the race don't mean shit. It's
Never
like,
has,
whose
never
line
will.
is it anyway?
Yeah,
Everything's made up and the race doesn't matter.
So what I'm hearing is Monaco is a sprint race.
Oof.
I mean, it has about the same amount of passing, for being honest.
Oof.
But either way, I just say thank you all for tuning in, whether on Spotify or on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. All of our social medias are at the 107 Podcast. Faxi, what do we have first besides our burning news?
How do you spell Spain?
It depends. Is the S silent?
Yes, because Barcelona is nothing but pain at this point.
I feel like we're just in a. Sorry, YouTube guidelines. We are in an orgy of shitty races.
Yeah, I mean, Baku's got chance for passing just because of that long ass straight, and I mean, Baku, I actually legitimately like as a street course.
I love the track, but Miami, Spain, Monaco, back to back to back. I mean, obviously they'll break, but
Miami had safety concerns. Spain is pain, and then Monaco.
Monaco has entertainment concerns.
Yeah, Monaco coming off of it. Shout out to Haas for their performance in qualifying. K-Mag starting 8th, Mick starting 10th, his first Q3 appearance, which you obviously have to mention he was not supposed to get into Q3, but Lando had a track limit violation, killed his chance to get in, which is why Lando started 11th. Mick snuck into Q3. I mean, hats off. Hats off to Haas, and hats off to those Ferrari engines that are finally getting to get turned up to 9,000 this year. God, I'm looking through the qualifying stuff real quick. What's going on with Sergio's Saturday pace? I feel like he could be a little better. Is that just the curse of somebody racing with Max?
I think now Red Bull's got that car tuned to max. I mean, as they've done year after year, where they're building a whole team around him, and it's now kind of catered to his driving style. And you're going to kind of notice that Sergio isn't going to be as close to max as he was having. He's 4/10 off. I mean, 6/10 off in Q2 and 4/10 off in Q1.
I mean, I put it in my small notes, but one thing I do want to ask you, do you think Checo gets a W this year?
I think so.
You think it'll be a Max screws up? I think that's going to be the only way. It's going to be a Max screws up.
I don't think it's a screw up. I think it's
damages
fucking.
car, and Checo pulls
I
another
think it's.
Baku.
I think. I think that engine shits the bed. I think that's what happens.
I mean, fair.
Or Max goes full aggro mode and takes out, you know, two or three other people.
I mean, yeah. Speaking of full aggro, Charles Leclerc's engine, or sorry, his MGU-H and his turbo went full aggro, and Leroy Jenkins themselves all the way out of the car. Joe didn't finish. Kind of going bottom up right here. Oh, look, Williams is at the bottom again. I feel bad for them because Russell carried that team. And now it's just, eh. And I believe you've talked about somebody else filling in William. Wasn't it Nick DeVries?
It is Nick DeVries took FP1 and outperformed Latifi.
Wait, did he
In his
really?
first time in the car, he outperformed Latifi.
I'm surprised that it was Latifi who didn't get pulled out.
Well, each driver has to be pulled out once.
I thought it was 4 FP1s.
It is 2 FP1s.
Okay, then I stand corrected on that. Okay.
But each driver has to get pulled out for one of them.
Do you think it'll be DeVries again for Williams, or do you think he gets into say an Aston Martin
sense.
or a? Well, do you see him possibly getting into Mercedes Works?
Maybe, I don't know. It's really weird. Like, I think interesting to see what if it's gonna be like, you know, all the Mercedes drivers will kind of bounce around with the same two. If it's gonna be like Stoffel and DeVries,
Be interesting to see
thing,
Stoffel.
or
Also,
what exactly is gonna happen.
on that vein, are we going to see Italian Jesus do an FP1 for, say, Ferrari?
Possibly.
That would be. I'm actually curious to see who the Works team brings out and who.
It doesn't count though, because you have to have a certain amount of GPs. I mean, under a certain amount of GP. So whoever
No,
one of
that can't be the case because Alfa Romeo had Bubaka.
It does not count. Bubaka's does not count for it
Why?
because he exceeds the amount. It was solely a sponsorship thing to get him into FP1.
Okay.
Yeah, I was concerned about that. This is when I learned about all this, about the requirements and stuff like that.
Okay. Had me absolutely.
I have to say, there's probably a little bit of bias in here. My driver of the day on Sunday, Lando fucking Norris.
Obvious.
Dude's dying, and still smoked his team.
Danny finishing 12th. He just led ballooned. Where did he start? He was higher than that. Wasn't he? Yeah, it felt like he should have done worse. I hate to say.
Danny went down 3. Lando went up 3.
Now the question that I put to you, because I'm looking here, Carlos finishes 4th for Ferrari, which I mean should have been 5th, but Charles's MGU-H decided that's too hot. Who's doing worse? Carlos for Ferrari or Danny Rick for McLaren?
That's an obvious one. We all know that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad are things going for Danny at McLaren, and how bad are things going for Sainz at Ferrari?
I think 1 is just making a mistake here or there, having a bad race where you may be a few things up position, or obviously his DNFs. But like, I think if it happens some more, you're getting worried about Sainz where he's in his So I'd say maybe like a 4 for like we're kind of.
I'm a 2 to a 3 on him.
Yeah, I think because it happened as many times as it did, it makes it a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Danny Rick, it's 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
11.
That's indicative of him not making it through the end of the season.
I think he makes it to the end of the season, but I don't right now, unless something drastic changes, he should not be on the team next year.
I put him at a 7 right now.
You should not be finishing behind an Aston Martin right now.
I think you're just not giving enough to Aston Martin. Specifically, the driver he finished behind.
Yeah, let's look at previous races then.
Okay.
Okay, let's look at Miami. He finished behind Yuki and Lance Stroll.
Okay. Yeah, I can see my argument here. I know when I'm beaten. Yeah, I kind of want to go flip side too, but I already know the answer. Scale of 1 to 10. How is Valtteri having an 11 out of 10 season for Alfa Romeo? Is that just showing the raw speed he's truly had?
I think it silences every doubter, every person who was on this train that Hamilton was miles and miles and miles ahead of Valtteri. The fact is, you have Valtteri 8 points behind Lewis right now
That's gross.
in a customer versus a works team.
And really quick, just because I know we're going to pivot right now to the points, just really quick, obviously 1-2 for Red Bull, Mercedes third with George. Lewising finished back in fifth, Carlos fourth, and then Valtteri won Formula 1.5. So, sorry, just wanted to
Oh, good.
get that.
Yeah, I think right now
we're going to pivot.
where Valtteri is, I think, proves all the people who were like, "Oh, it was all the car," that Valtteri is a damn good driver.
I could have told you that with his rally background.
I know.
I trust anybody who has a rally background.
I obviously was full aboard the Valtteri hype train, but
So what you're saying is, to those who may be concerned,
fuck you, Valtteri's a good driver.
yep. I still am hurting physically that Mick does not have any points and Latifi is still classified behind Hulkenberg. It's literally last year all over again.
I'd say I'm surprised, but I'm really not surprised that Latifi's last.
No, okay. I'm going to also throw in another person on the scale of 1 to 10. How bad is their season going? Fernando for Alpine. He only has 4 points.
On how bad it is, 8.
You're sounding the alarm.
Fernando's thing was if he was getting beat on pace, he that's when he was going to hang it up. He's not at that point yet, as evidenced by his race this weekend, where he took it from 20th to 9th. But he's made some mistakes.
You know, you do have a point. I completely forgot that he had that complete turnaround. You have to, that's hats off. Because of that, I actually I was going to say a 7. I put it a 5 to a 6. Because he could still do shit like that. Also, we're completely ignoring the flip at 1 and 2 in the points right now.
I mean, it's going to happen when you win and the person doesn't finish. I mean, it's I think it's so early to be like, oh hey, Max is now gonna run away with it, that sort of thing. Like,
I'm not saying that at all. It's just a lot of people always lose it. It's like, yeah, it's early. A lot of the stuff early sets up what happens later. Like, you need to make sure that you are at the checkered flag, and you have to feel for Charles. It's just kind of become a thing where he's first, and then the car shits out on him. I mean, we joked about it at Bahrain this year, but last year, or no, not last year. 20 was that 2019 when his yeah, 2019 was injured shit the bed.
Honestly, let's just see how Monaco goes. See if he can get his win home and go from there.
I
I
mean,
feel like
yeah,
before, I think that's gonna be a huge thing of it's really gonna determine because I definitely think the next couple races are gonna favor Red Bull.
you think with Monaco? I disagree with Monaco. I think this is. Oh,
No,
I'll say I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save
after
it for
Monaco is
Rossi. I'm gonna save it for Rossi.
after Monaco. I feel like it's gonna start favoring Red Bull a little bit.
Mexico's gonna
With
favor Red Bull.
well, we got a few races until then.
Well, obviously, I can't wait for Halloween racing again.
We have at least 1 or 2 races until Mexico.
At least 1 or 2. Yeah. It's halfway across the fucking season.
Yeah, was I? Is that at least 1 or 2?
We're 13 races away.
Is that more than 1 or 2?
Get the fuck out.
Am I wrong?
I actually am going to put Ferrari the favorites at Canada.
No, sorry. I actually have Stroll Latifi 1-2 in Canada.
All right, we're getting off of this. Teams. Obviously, Red Bull are starting to pull out. Mercedes is starting to catch up a little bit to Ferrari. McLaren, not so much in that no man's land. They got an Alfa Romeo right on their tails, and Alpine's not too far behind them.
Mercedes has gone up in points, and McLaren haven't fucking moved.
I know. Well, I tell you what, if Fernando can turn around his season and Ocon can stay with his consistency,
yeah,
you're going to see Alpine possibly jump all the way to 4th.
What do you? Of course, they're going to be 4th. They have 2 drivers. McLaren and Alfa only have 1 right now.
Yikes!
Again, tell me I'm fucking wrong.
Yikes! I can't touch that one with a 10-foot pole.
Don't worry. Neither can Guan Yu or Daniel. They can't fucking get near it.
Fuck.
They're too far off the pace to get near that pole.
You know who I think has a really good chance at a pole later this year?
Albano?
No, Kimi Räikkönen.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Kimi's back.
He back?
In NASCAR.
Road trip?
Fuck, I would love to go to Watkins Glen. Yeah, the news, this was breaking today, wasn't it? Or was it yesterday?
This morning.
Okay,
This morning.
we're recording this on a Thursday for once, which I was sick yesterday, so we had to postpone, and I'm glad I did because we got to talk about this and Bernie's bullshit. Yeah, the Iceman has driven in trucks, and he has driven in Xfinity Series, which I remember watching.
He's driven everything with a fucking engine.
I'll give it to him for actually driving on an oval, which is something you don't really see a lot of Formula One guys doing.
I think
even
really
the ones
the
that
only
go to Indy for a while.
Only the one is really Grosjean. Because
Well, Ilott
didn't do ovals really until like he needed 1 or 2 maybe.
fair. Well, Ilott, Longard, who else came over? Well, now obviously you got like Marcus Ericsson and
Tatiana Calderon.
We don't talk about Tatiana.
she definitely isn't doing ovals.
Anyways,
she didn't get last in a couple of the races.
I'll get, and you know what? I shouldn't shit on her.
I think she beat Jimmy Johnson.
She's a great endurance driver.
Yeah,
she can hold her own in LMP2. And I mean, she would kick my ass in a drive. But like, overall, she is a great LMP2 driver. She would not have that ride if she didn't have the skill. That needs to be said. Yeah. I cannot wait. I'm counting down personally to 24 Hours of Le Mans. But anyways,
I want to be clear, we're not bashing on her because of who she is.
It's not a woman at all. We don't. No. Gender and race are not
considered
when we shit on
everyone
drivers.
knows at this point. I just shit on everyone. It's equal opportunity. Unless you're Lance Stroll, you get a little extra. Or Jimmy Johnson.
Or you're the Lord, the goat himself. Mahavir Raghunathan. Best driver ever.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, at least when he makes it into Formula One, if at the upcoming race at Monaco, he won't have to worry about the jewelry ban.
Did you just say Raghunathan in
Yeah,
Formula One?
did you not hear?
Hold
Lando's
on.
so sick he can't race that Raghunathan's gonna race for him. You guys heard it here first.
I'm gonna finish this Kimmy shit. Yeah. So Kimmy, he raced back in 2011. In basically the series below the Cup Series. I think it's announced he will only do one drive this year. He will be racing for Trackhouse Racing at Watkins Glen, a former Formula One track. Have to throw that out there. Very interested to see how he does. Take a shot in the dark, Cody. What position do you think he finishes in?
30 seconds.
15th. You should write those down on our points. If we get it right,
All right.
we get it's 50 points if we get it right.
So,
Like it has to be on the dot.
or do you want to do like Price is Right rules? Whoever's closer.
Nah.
Okay.
50 points if you get it dead on.
You said 15th.
15th.
All right. It on there.
All right. So yeah, I'm
Actually, I'm adjusting mine 26 because I don't think there's many people who race Watkins Glen anymore.
I think other than does regional F4 even go there?
I meant in terms of amount of people. You're not going to have. I don't think you're going to have a full field for Watkins Glen.
No, you're gonna have a full 40.
I mean, after like the first lap, like a quarter of them are going to fucking wreck because they don't know how to drive on road courses. So you're not really going to have a full field.
You might
It's
have a
fucking
point
American drivers, man.
there. Let me see.
We can drive on dirt and in circles. That's it.
How the fuck do they not race at Watkins Glen?
Because why would you want to race at Watkins Glen when you could race at Coda
Okay.
or Road America or Road Atlanta?
Atlanta's not on there.
It's not. It's Mid America is or Mid Ohio.
Mid Ohio, New Jersey.
Didn't even know there's a fucking track in New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey Motorsports Park, aka it probably smells terrible.
They probably go to Barber.
No, they don't go to Barber.
They don't.
Mid Ohio, New Jersey, Virginia, and Coda. Those are the only tracks they're going to this year. Look at all
No
the
road
tracks they're leaving off.
No road. So they only go. That's
Wait,
insane.
hold on. Okay, their website's awful because it did leave stuff off. They raced in New Orleans, and yes, Road America is on there.
Okay.
Still, that Sebring,
Yeah.
Watkins Glen, you have to throw in Laguna Seca.
I think this don't want to go West Coast because of travel.
Well, they're fucking stupid.
That's expensive travel for smaller feeder series.
Don't care.
Um,
And sorry, I had to. We got sidetracked.
as you interrupted me earlier,
Yeah, you'll get over it.
I was talking that FIA apparently, according to Racing News 365, FIA will postpone the F1 rule on jewelry. It sounds like it is postponed, not completely canceled. They're going to discuss it more between the drivers and the medical commission this weekend.
I'll give it to them. Also, okay, they're doing that with the jewelry, but have they ruled on the underwear? Or are we going to get Vettel walking around with his briefs over his racing suit again?
It's probably the same rule, to be honest. That they're all kind of.
Yeah, they're both fire safety rules. I just think that was the greatest thing ever, watching Vettel walk around with fucking...
That's not the most Vettel thing. I don't know what it is.
I love him. He's a treasure.
But after that quick one, I had a more important one.
Okay.
The McLaren resident father figure. Mr. Zach Brown,
Lord and
finally
Savior.
comes out and says what we're all thinking. Ricardo, dude, get your shit together. You're not meeting our expectations.
Okay, so
After
when I alluded to everything, you actually had a story ready about this.
I had something ready. That's why when you brought it up, I'm like, do I bring it up? Let's talk about that later. But uh, let's be honest. He's saying what we're all fucking thinking.
What the fuck, Danny?
Danny, get your shit together, man. Or pack your shit and get out.
Where's he supposed to go?
Andretti.
What if Andretti's not ready?
I heard Indy's looking for new drivers.
I was getting ready to say, Danny Rick racing for Andretti in America. Can you imagine what a superstar he'd be?
Could you imagine Danny Rick and Grosjean on the same team?
Oh my god, I would love it actually.
I would go to every Indy race. I would hitch a ride in their trucks and go to every single race. I don't care.
I would stay with my girlfriend who literally is across the street from Texas Motor Speedway.
Yes, but that's not enough. You need to go to all of them.
Well, I think later in the year they do a double header.
All of the races.
Fair. That would be fun to go to St. Petersburg, though. One of the very few good things about Florida is the St. Petersburg race.
It's definitely not their politicians.
Fuck, you're not wrong. No, I mean, Danny's got the bag no matter what he does at this point in his career, but I know he wants to keep racing in Formula One, and honestly,
he's not racing for money at this point. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, but at least for street cred, it would be better for him worldwide to stay in Formula One, but he would absolutely become a overnight sensation in America if he were to race in Indy. Plus, you've got Ilott, Lundgaard, Grosjean, Ericsson. I know I'm missing one more who are already over here with the Formula One pedigree. I think he would America already loves him. So honestly, it makes sense for him it would make more sense for him to not come back next year and just go to Indy. And then wait for the Andretti seat. Can you imagine what it'd be like watching him win in Texas? With that fucking 10-gallon cowboy hat he'd put on and the fake guns that they always give you when you win here.
You can't tell me he wouldn't drive around with an Earnhardt 3 flag after winning the race.
I'd spray paint it orange, but yeah.
I don't think he'd care.
I was not an Earnhardt fan.
I don't think...
Who do you think I was a fan of when I was a kid?
I also was not an Earnhardt fan, but gotta respect the legend.
The only thing is, me and Earnhardt share a birthday.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Yeah, I share a birthday with the Intimidator, which I found funny because I disliked him. Who do you think I was a fan of when we were kids?
I feel like you were a Bill Elliott fan.
You know, you can't go against Dawson Bell from Dawsonville, but he was not my favorite. I did have one of his flags in my house, though.
Who was your go-to?
I feel like you specifically were a Rusty Wallace fan.
No.
You weren't a Rusty fan?
I was... I mean...
Tony.
Okay, but
You're a Tony.
No.
Who?
Let me hear yours first.
Jeff Gordon. I had 24 stuff everywhere.
I can't sound surprised by that. I grew up with a Dale Jarrett fan.
Respect.
My family used to pretty much run the Ford plant back when there was still one here in Minnesota. So
you had a reason to? Okay, but like...
It's back when he was Ford Auto Credit or whatever, Auto Care. But I guess like Roush in general was always our whole thing, and then Dale Jarrett.
His commercial with his dad. How about some pie? Best commercial on TV, and you can't argue with me on that.
So yeah, Dale Jarrett, and then all the Roush guys: Mark Martin, Matt Kenseth. Plus, Matt Kenseth's from Wisconsin, so which is where my family's from. So, I always got rep Matt. And then as kind of things progressed, anyone but Kyle Busch. Fuck you, Kyle.
Fuck you, Kyle Busch. He'll never hear
And
this,
then
but fuck you, Kyle Busch. You ignorant
I
prick.
will make sure he hears it. I will do whatever it takes. And then, obviously, the one and only Joey Logano. Fuck you as well.
Fuck you, Joey.
Um, hey, Faxy.
Hey, Cody.
Do you know what it is this week?
It's not Raw Seek. What
It
is
is not. Um, this is normally where you kind of take things over, and you're usually our hype man here. What is it?
Quarleek?
Faxy didn't know I put that in the script for kind of like, hey, what are topics sort of thing. Like,
I'm used to seeing Raw Seek and I see it scratched out and says Quarleek, and I'm like, what the fuck?
well, I want to say that we actually might have a race this weekend. Do you know why?
Why?
It's supposed to rain.
No.
Is rain predicted
When?
on Sunday?
Oh, God.
On race
That's
day.
going to be... And I love how they use a picture of Senna for that.
And Saturday.
Saturday, I'm just showing clouds, but Sunday, I'm showing the rain. On top of that, though, like, you know how Formula One's YouTube usually does the 5 moments you can't miss?
The Leclerc one?
No, they used Danny in the pit incident where he lost the race and he crossed the line, went through Sandoval, and just goes, save it. Nothing you could say can help this right now. Just save it. And he didn't say a fucking word on the radio. I asked you it before, and I'm going to ask it. I'm going to ask you again, even though I kind of know your feelings. Does Monaco deserve to still be on the calendar? Not just as a
No.
race, but you have to factor in the prestige and the glamour and everything of Monaco. And if no, what can be done to make
The
it
glamour and
erasable?
prestige only matters if the race itself has value.
It has value.
I meant in terms of entertainment value. It's kind of like Miami. People didn't go there for the fucking race. They went there for the experience.
No,
Monaco's
they
the
went
same
there
thing.
because Formula One had to force feed us the experience.
Yeah.
Monaco, it's effortless.
I
Like,
think it's a thing where people aren't going there for the race, though. You're going there for the prestige of being at Monaco for a race.
I mean, it's been
Okay,
ingrained
so
in my
you
head
tell me,
for
tell me.
years. That
If you went, put yourself in wealthy dude who owns 37 yachts. Good chance you probably have ties to a Russian oligarch. Are you going to go there for that race?
absolutely.
No, you're gonna.
I mean, I am because I'm a fan.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you can't tell me
it's a
that
place
the
to be
people who.
seen.
Yeah, it was fucking it's the same thing as Miami. It's the same thing as Vegas is going to be. It's not like a Daytona or Le Mans in their respective, racing divisions,
I
whatever you want to call it.
disagree with you there. Yes, it's about the prestige of being there, but because of the history behind the race, it will always carry that elevated, okay, this is one of the races I have to win every year. Because, like, I know at least for me, even when I wasn't as big of a Formula One race fan, when I wake up on a Sunday, on Memorial Weekend Sunday, in my mind, I think, okay, 3 things I have to do today. I have to wake up early, watch Monaco, and then
Get shit faced.
take a small nap, Indy, take another nap, Coca-Cola 600. Like, Memorial Weekend Sunday is, I would argue, is the greatest day worldwide for racing, and Monaco adds to that. Because of the prestige, because of the history,
What would you say?
because
How
this is one
how
of the
many
races to win.
fans do you think are watching all 3 of those races outside of a very small niche?
All 3 of them? I mean, yeah, not very many. However, I still contend that at least for the American race fan, Monaco, even if you're not a Formula One fan, still carries that prestige. It still carries that, okay, this is one of the races I know of if I don't
Yeah.
follow it per se.
So let's talk about on purely a race level. So ignoring everything else that comes with it. Sunday from lights out to checkered flag. Is the race itself good enough to still be on the calendar?
When you put it in the wind tunnel like that, no, because the cars are too big and we don't get passing. The track needs fundamental changes that they can't do because it is a city course. But they are never going to get rid of their crown jewel.
No. It makes them too much fucking money.
It makes them that residual money.
Yeah. It makes them like marketing money versus tangible money.
This is one of the ones you want to win in your career. This is one of the ones I want to win on Formula 122 in my career mode.
Let's be honest.
Get a wheel and maybe I'll win.
You're clipping that fucking metal barrier.
Which one? Which barrier
Any
do
of
you
them.
think? Which barrier do you
Any
think
of
is the
them.
worst one for? No, you got to pick. Which one do you think is my biggest enemy? And I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
I think for you, it's probably coming out of the tunnel.
Casino Square.
Yeah.
It's Casino Square that gives me the biggest problem. When you're coming around that really long left going into the square, when you do that right, and then you get up against the wall before you have to veer right for the dip, that whole little complex, I always fuck it up because I try to get it right on the hair. Yeah. Tunnel into the chicane, I'm fine. I just cut the chicane.
Of course.
Yeah, it's Monaco. We all know our feelings.
Yeah.
Driver to watch, team to watch. Oh wait, that's you.
Is it me?
Yeah.
I don't know. If who gives a fuck anymore? We kind of just ignore it after.
Well,
like,
I'll
the
do it
first
because
two.
you're the one who keeps the podium.
All right, let's get it.
Okay, so driver watch, team to watch.
Team to watch. I think it's got to be Ferrari.
Okay.
I think it's Ferrari's. I'm watching them see they perform. I think they need to. And I think driver. It's obviously gotta be the man in his home race.
Charles.
This is Charles.
I thought you were going to say Max for a second there.
I think about half the grids. They're technically home race at this point.
Yeah.
Depending on their taxes.
I was actually talking to a Dutch fan, and I could feel the side eye when I was like, oh, hey, you ready for the Dutch Grand Prix? And they were just like, why? We don't have a driver. Max lives in Monaco. He forgot us. And I just kind of lulled.
Yeah. What do you got?
So driver to watch, team to watch. Team? McLaren. I think we're going to see something a little stronger from them. I feel like Danny's going to be a little stronger here. Lando did finish third here last year in front of Sergio. Mind you, we actually had some very interesting pit play last year. That screwed over.
The only thing about McLaren we're gonna watch is the livery on their cars. They fall farther and farther back.
Yikes. We did have that interesting pit play that screwed over Lewis. And then
what about Valtteri's interesting pit play?
I felt so bad for them shearing that fucking thing. And then the infamous camera fuck up where they missed the
one overtake of the entire race.
Yeah, through the fucking uphill. Just my heart was in my throat. Nope, we have to watch Lance Stroll. Driver. Do you know who finished second place behind Max Verstappen last year?
Was it Jim Bob? He drives F1, right? Jim Bob, that one dude who...
My driver to watch. And my winner for the podium predictions.
Oh, shit.
Carlothian signs. Jarl's second.
Well, let me update this. And your third place?
Checo. I'm going out on a limb.
Okay.
Max does his heroics into Sandoval.
So, can I update my third place driver?
You can update all three of them.
I don't care. I'll update third.
Okay.
Because there's no way Daniel's getting a fucking
I was going to
podium.
let you update all three, but if you just want to update your third.
No.
Who
It's
was
exactly
your first and second?
My first. Winning his home race for the very first time.
Jarls.
Okay. Coming in second. The former Dutch World F1 champion, Max Verstappen.
Okay.
And third, Georgie Boy.
Okay. That is a sensible. That's very sensible.
I have to be sensible. You're beating me 27-11, okay?
Fair. Dark Horse, I'm taking Giovinazzi. I feel like this is... I'm just kidding.
I'm taking Oscar Piastri as my dark horse because apparently Lando's still sick as a dog.
Oh, really?
He spoke to one of the reporters I pay a good chunk of attention to, Philip Duncan. Talked to him this morning in the pack. He is still struggling with tonsillitis and only slept for about 8 hours since Sunday's GP.
Jeez.
And all of his media activities have been canceled.
Yeah, he needs to fix that quick. Damn. Glad I'm not picking it. I'm glad I didn't pick him for that. Dark Horse is Seb.
Seb.
Yep, with a special shout out to Pierre Hon Hon Wee Wee Baguette.
I think you're going to be interested to see my dark horse.
Who's your dark horse?
Daddy's money.
All right, we're ending this podcast. I can't talk to you anymore.
All right, see y'all. Peace.
Nah.
100% serious.
Okay.
100% serious. I have Lance Stroll as my dark horse. He has historically performed pretty well here. And Aston usually kind of favors him when it comes to pitch strategy.
I mean, it helps when you have daddy's cash.
Exactly, daddy's money. So I'm optimistic. I think he puts them together.
Okay. Now, I got to ask you, as we're kind of wrapping up, I mentioned it before, we are going into probably the greatest day of motorsports for a lot of us.
Yes, sir.
I need your favorite to win Indy and your favorite for the 600. Probably the second best NASCAR race all year.
All right.
And yes, I will say the 600 is better than Darlington. I know the Southern 500's got the pageantry. This is the endurance race of all endurance races. Give me your Indy. Give me your 600.
All right. So I am going to... I'm going to start with Coke 600.
Okay.
Denny Hamlin.
Gross.
I don't like him, but he's been racing really well. With a possibility of Tyler Reddick making something happen.
Okay.
Indy. I think I gotta do it.
Uh-oh. No.
I think I gotta do it.
No.
The Phoenix, Roman Grosjean.
Oh my God, he did it. Ooh. Chris Buescher's actually from near me. Chris Buescher listed out of Prosper, Texas. That is technically DFW area. That's cool.
Hey. I think I got someone will ramp after you say your predictions.
Okay. By the way, only 37 cars showed up to Charlotte.
Ooh.
I'm looking through the 600. Indy. I mean, shout out to Scott Dixon getting on the pole. I mean, this race does favor the old guard versus the new, I feel like. Who'd you pick for Indy? You said Roman?
The Phoenix. Yeah.
I am willing to wager you 5 of our points for this season and say my pick will do better.
Who's your pick?
Tony Kanaan.
Nope.
Outside of row 2.
Nope. That was my debate was which of those two did I feel the most confident about. So no.
Also, just really quick, I am just looking at the Formula One guard that is there this weekend. Last row, Christian Lundgaard. Row 10, outside, Juan Pablo.
I actually do have a bet for you on Indy, but we'll get to that after you make a prediction.
Okay. Colton, row 9, because we all know he's going to move up. Alexander Rossi was the one I was trying to think of earlier, who's also got a little bit of Formula One in him. Him and Ilott, row 7. Let's see. Takuma Sato, row 4. Roman, row 3. Pato, future Formula One, row 3.
Doesn't Rosenquist have feeder series experience?
Probably. I know Renus VK does, and he's outside row 1. So I mean,
Rosenquist has F3 experience.
He didn't get to 2. Oh wow, yeah, he was in. Formula
he also has
Euro.
Formula E experience.
He went to E.
He went to E.
Wow, he did a few years in E.
Yeah, he did.
Technically 2 years, because he
2
did the
years,
first race of his 3rd year, and then just was like, "Nah, fam, I'm good."
Yeah,
Finished 3rd. Good on him. His best finish at Indy is 12th, by the way.
So who do you have for the Coke? Before we get to our Indy bet.
For the Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
was going to say something else, but I don't want to get demonetized. I mean, shout out to Tyler Reddick for driving the Cheddar Scratch Kitchen Chevy. Your boy loves some cheddars so fucking much. Stuart Haas for the win. Kevin Harvick.
Oh, shit.
It's another race that favors the old guard, I feel like.
All right. As we wrap it up, final thing. $5 bet.
Ooh, I like money.
$5. Juan Pablo Montoya outraces Helio Castroneves for the old guard.
You're saying Juan Pablo will beat Mr. Castroneves?
$5 or 5 points. 5 points.
5 point. Oh, I can't take that because I would take Juan in that. It's gonna be a good day of racing.
I want to see if Juan can beat Helio. I think that's gonna be interesting to say the least. And they're starting from 27th and 30th. It could be real fun. Okay, real talk though. Colton Herta starting 25th.
25th to 1st. Let's go.
Who knows? I mean, I think it's gonna be a good race either way. I think there's been a lot of good racing on Sunday, and we also have the Monaco GP, which would be cool. And with that,
I think this is going to be a better Monaco than we've had.
It's going to be raining, hopefully. So
even if it doesn't rain, I think it's going to be a decent one. I know we shit on it, but I feel like it's going to be good.
We shit on it because we love it, but because we love F1, we kind of put up with the race because we love F1. But either way, this was the Monaco Race Week episode here with the 107% podcast crew. I'm the Pie Master, Cody Cows Miller, and joining me as usual was Fossey fanboy himself, Faxi the Great Qualifier. Thank you all for tuning in. Whether on Spotify or on YouTube, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Faxi, you probably have an OF for this podcast at this point. That's gonna be all for us.
What?
Nothing. That's gonna be all for us. Y'all have a good one.
I don't have an OnlyFans. Oh, bye, y'all.